Welcome back, everyone, to Good Morning KU. I'm Evan. We have a special guest here. AJ Franklin is here with us today. We're going to be talking about all things KU basketball, camping, and everything, how that works, because it is a big process. How are you doing today, AJ?
I'm good, thank you very much. How about you?
Pretty good. Surviving. We're here. So, can you tell me about, I know you're a big basketball fan, and I mean KU sports fan in general. What kind of started your love for KU sports and KU basketball in particular?
So it starts off with my family. My grandmother graduated from the University of Kansas, and so for her, she was at the first game ever in Allen Fieldhouse back in 1955. It was her last semester of pharmacy school. So that kind of transpired down the family tree. My mother grew up watching KU basketball, being with my grandmother. So then that kind of went down to me, ever since I was born. I was putting a KU shirt, watching basketball games, watching football games, all that kind of stuff. So by the time I came here to the University of Kansas, I just love Kansas basketball. So.
And that's nice that you have those family ties. That makes it even a little more special for you. I know you spearheaded a camping group here at the university. I know you have mostly freshmen in it. What was it like? When did you start preparing and organizing that group, and what's it like to manage it through all these games?
So I wanted to get a head start on it, so I started through the summer. First, I just created a Google form so that people can sign up on it pretty easy. Just give me your name, email address, number, put in when you're able to camp on Monday to Sunday at these specific times. And then when I got all the numbers that I needed, which was 30 people, I would then go into an Excel spreadsheet and then kind of work my way into figuring out who goes where and who fits with who, that kind of stuff.
So I know many people, we say the word camping, and it's a little misleading, to be honest, because you think of camping, you think of being outside, being in a tent, waiting at all hours of the night, all weather conditions to get into these crazy basketball games, but it's not really like that, at least anymore. So
yeah, it's so back then they would actually camp outside, be in tents, even if it was cold. Then the university was like, no, it's too cold, let's bring them inside. So we do camp inside Allen Fieldhouse, but it's not necessarily camping. We're not camping all night. We're during the weekend, during the weekdays, we're camping from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And most of the time, for someone in my group, we're only camping like 1 or 2 hour slots. So and then on the weekends, it's 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And again, it's just kind of you work 1 or 2 slots, and you're not necessarily camping. Not everyone's camping at the same time.
Is it, you said you had the Excel spreadsheet where you keep track of everyone's schedules and everything, which must be crazy to keep track of 30 people's schedules. But what is it like, making sure people show up to their camping shifts, making sure people show up to those 6 a.m., 8 a.m. lotteries? Because, if they don't show up and they do roll call, your group's kind of out of luck. So how's that like managing it, making sure they're there?
So in the group, I know most of the people. So the people who are scheduled to be at 6, 7, 8 a.m., they're going to be the most trustworthy people that I put on those slots. So if I put them on there, I know they will go there. And because if you don't show up and someone calls roll call, you're pretty much out. You're screwed. So I put the most trustworthy people on the early slots, and then most of the time I will put 2 people on each slot, so just in case someone doesn't show up, then we have another person there, so we're not entirely screwed up for camping. So that's kind of how I do it for the entire day, 2 people each slot. Sometimes there'll only be 1 due to class schedules or sorority, fraternity stuff, so that's kind of how it goes for my group.
Yeah. So I know we've had late night already, late night in the fog, and we've had the one Fort Hays game. What's it been like after the camping is done, after you're all together there at the game? What's it like to be together and just celebrate? It has to be a great time.
It is definitely a great time. For late night, we were in kind of the lower section of the student side, so it was a lot of fun. We got to experience it pretty well. Snoop Dogg, that was a fantastic show.
For sure.
And then for the Fort Hays game, we were on the 2nd or 3rd row, so that was pretty fun to watch. Haven't seen it from like the court level.
Coming up Thursday, so are you planning on camping for that game?
Yeah, my group is still planning on camping. Some won't be there due to Halloween, but that's totally fine. If we have it in my group that if you have a friend that is wanting to come to that game, they
kind of take your spot.
Yeah, kind of take your spot. So that's kind of the one little clause that we have in our group. If you don't want to go to a game, but you have a friend that wants to join in, make sure they're able to pick up
Sounds
their schedule.
Really easy and relaxed. Just I think your major thing is communication. It has to be really important to manage all those people. So yeah, game 7 o'clock, right? Thursday?
Yeah, 7 o'clock
Halloween.
on Thursday.
Anything you want to add before we go, just about basketball in general, the camping process?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We will have the news coming up right next. Stay tuned.